Hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to another live ukulele jam with me, Matt Stead, Kanikapila Mondays. Hope you're all doing well. I'll catch up with you all in a minute, see whereabouts you all are. We're going to have a whole heap of fun tonight with some really, really fun songs. We've got some really esoteric stuff. We've got the Field Mice, one of my all-time favourite bands. An autumn theme tonight, by the way. We've got their September's Not So Far Away, which is really gorgeous. We've got the most beautiful melancholic song, originally sung by Justin Hayward, but written by what's his guy from War of the Worlds, Jeff Lynne. And then to finish off, we've got a lovely rendition of Blue Moon and Harvest Moon by Neil Young. So we've got two Moon songs and two other songs, all with an autumn theme for tonight. Now, hopefully, Peter's already let the cat out of the bag. So before we start, I'm going to teach you one really quick song, right? So this isn't part of Kanikapila, this is just for fun. Starts like this, see? And then to G7, and then G7, back to C, C, F, and then C, G7, C. Play along with me. And this one is for you, Esther. She is very sneaky and she didn't tell me it was her birthday earlier, but I saw it on the Facebook Hive Mind. Hive for a hive. So, everyone ready? If only we could all sing along. We're all singing in our rooms, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Esther. Otherwise known as the Cow and Frog. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Esther. Hope you've had an absolutely wonderful one. And we've all made her blush, so there we go. Had to be done. So Esther is one of my amazing volunteers, and she does a lot of work on the sheets, writing up all my crazy scribbles and making them look beautiful, and I'm sure we're all thankful for her help. Right, let's say hello to everyone, see where you are. Hi Sarah, hi Charlene. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a bit dreary here today. It started beautiful with lots of sunshine, and then it got more and more autumnal as the day goes on. By autumnal, I mean tipping it down with rain. So, hope you're all doing well. And Diamond says, originally I thought you said help, but hello, that's even better. Cool. Brilliant. So we're gonna have loads of fun. Some really nice songs tonight, and we've got some cool ones coming up. So in next week's Kanikapila, we are going to do lots of happy birthday messages. I love it. In next week's Kanikapila, we're going to have an ABBA special, which is actually Karen, one of our other helpers' idea. I've been meaning to do some ABBA songs for a while, and then Karen came up with some ideas for Kanikapila. And I noticed that we'd never done an ABBA special, so we're going to put that right next week, which is going to be really excited. Jeff Wayne, I think I said like Jeff Wynne or something, didn't I, Tim? I've obviously gone nuts tonight, or the autumn air has gone to my mind. So yeah, ABBA special, and then the week after that, because I'm away the actual week of Halloween, I'm always away that week. We take the kids away to a caravan park which has a Halloween disco. We're going to do our Halloween special in 2 weeks' time. So ABBA next week, and then Halloween the week after that. So loads of fun stuff coming up. And then we've got a break, and then we're right through until Christmas after that with Kanikapilas every week, every Monday. Don't forget, it's our God Only Knows special live lesson this week. This is going to be this Wednesday, and I'm super, super excited about this one. I think it's the most beautiful pop song ever written and recorded. And hopefully we're going to do it justice. We're going to go through all of the chords. I'll explain all the progressions, all the cool key changes, all that fun stuff. So that's going to be this Wednesday at 3:30. Members of my website, you get the sheets at no extra cost. So go ahead and download those. If you're not a member, you can still get them for £5 off my pay hip if you want to come along and join in that. Karen says it's going on 5 pages of ABBA facts. Wow, it's going to be like an ABBA compendium, an ABBA encyclopedia. I love it. Fantastic. So still time to download the sheets if you want to. You can just follow the link in my description or in the comments at the start. And we write these out in a kind of interesting way for Kanikapila. The chords are there, but also we've got these Nashville numbers, which I'll explain as we go on. And by learning those Nashville numbers, it means that you can play in any key. And it also kind of helps to explain the progression and what's going on. So we're going to start with a simple one to help us explain those Nashville numbers. And it's one of my favourite bands as well. This is a band called the Field Mice. If you're into your indie pop music, these guys were on the Sarah Records independent label from Bristol in the 1980s going into the 1990s. Afterwards, after they split up, Bobby Ratton formed another brilliant band called Trembling Blue Stars, which some of you might have heard of, who are absolutely fantastic as well. So well worth checking out. And if you enjoy this one, they've got a really nice compilation called Where'd You Learn to Kiss This Way, which you'll find on all of the regular streaming places, which is lovely. Okay, so this song is in the key of C, the people's key, the friendliest key. No kind of scary chords here, apart from maybe that B flat, but I'll go over that and I'll show you an easier way to play it as well, which is always good, right? So the numbers, we number each chord 1 through to 7 in every key. In a key of C, that's C, D, E, F, G, A and B. No sharps or flats in the key of C. The first is major, then minor, minor, major, major, minor, and then something called a diminished at the end. So here we're starting out with a 1 chord. That's just a standard C chord. Sets us out on a journey. And that's the chord where it finally feels resolved, basically. If you're playing a song and it hits the 1 chord, it feels happy and resolved. And that's what most of this song is based on. There's more C chords than anything else. The next most common chord that we have here is the 4 chord, in this case F, C, D, E, F. And the 4 chord in any key just introduces a sense of change without creating too much drama, which is what we have here. We've had a C chord. I'll go over all the strumming and everything in a minute, but we've had a C chord for ages and ages. I will always remember the days, the nights we spent together. And then we finally get this F chord for a little bit of change. The happiness of being with you, followed by the 5 chord. The sorrow of parting from you. And notice that that 5 chord leads beautifully back to the 1 chord. So the 5 chord in any key, C, D, E, F, G. It's all about creating tension, making you want to go back to the start. So we have home for quite some time in this one. Then we have the change of the 4 chord, tension of 5, and then the release, the resolution of going back to 1. Now, in terms of the boxes, every one of these boxes is 4 beats. You can think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where these Nashville numbers and this way of presenting it is quite cool, because even if you've never heard a song, and I purposefully choose a few esoteric songs as well as the popular ones, just to make sure that people understand Nashville numbers and see how useful it is. Because even if you don't know this song, as long as you strum in time and you count those boxes along, you can play with everyone else, which is really magic, right? So the strum pattern on this one is your classic calypso. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, I've just re-released a video on YouTube all about not learning strum patterns. So it's sometimes better to think of that as a rhythm, right? And I like to think about it as walk, running, and running, walk, running, and running. You could even just tap it out. Walk, running, and running, walk, running, and and running. Isn't that lovely? So it doesn't even matter if you're on an up or a down, as long as you're doing that walk, running, and running, walk, running, and running. Tap, 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 right? Really cool. Now, if you find that a bit of a struggle, you can just strum up and down as well, as long as you're strumming in time with us on this one. You could even do all down strums, what we call straight eights. Okay, whatever you feel most comfortable, or if you really struggle with the strumming, just strum once per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any of those is absolutely fine. Me too, Karen. I absolutely love the field mice. I always listen to them this time of year as well. I think it's because they've got a record called Autumn Store #1 and #2, so it always makes me feel autumnal. Plus, there's this song September's Not So Far Away. Ironically, when I wrote the sheets, it was pre-September. It took me a while to get round to this one, and then by the time I gave them to Karen and Esther, it was September. And because we plan quite a couple of weeks ahead now that we're doing it, it's gone to September. So actually, September's about as far away as it can possibly get, isn't it, really? In October. But we're still going to sing September's Not So Far Away because it's a great song. So just one more example. I'll come in on close cam for this one as well, so you can follow my fingers. So if we were counting this, ignore the intro for now. We would play 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's the top line. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Third line, we'd have F, 1, 2, G for 2, 1, 2, and C, 2, and 3, and 4. Cha cha cha. There we go. Fantastic. So that would be a verse. Oh, thanks, Andrea. Isn't that lovely? I'm so frightfully British. It's quite nice when non-British people say that I'm frightfully British, because to the Brits, obviously, which are probably most of my followers, I've got quite a West Country accent. And I remember going to play a gig in Manchester and them all taking a mickey out of me because I spoke like a farmer. So hopefully you foreigners, I don't want to say that because you're my lovely people, but my friends from abroad hopefully won't notice the West Country accent. Anyway, Bobby sung with a really interesting accent anyway, so I can get away with it. Let's have a look at this chorus then. So the chorus, we go to the B flat chord. That's the 7th chord in the key of C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But it's been played as a flat. Now, I won't get into the theory of this too much because it gets way too complex, but it kind of comes from something called the Mixolydian mode, where we flatten that seventh chord of a key. But I kind of think, thanks, Indrani, thank you. I kind of think of it as the indie chord. It often comes up in indie music, that flatted 7. It's really nice. The reason it's working here is that B flat is 4 above F. F, G, A, B flat. And when we play a chord that's 4 above another, it loves to resolve down to it. And F, believe it or not, is 4 above C. So you get this downward movement in fourths from B flat to F to C. Really, really lovely. Yeah, that's a great idea, Joe. Joe was asking if we could break up the C section with some C add 4s. That's a great idea. So you could do a C, I'd call it a C sus4, I'd say, if we did this. So we could take our C chord and put your finger on that F note here, the 1st fret of the E string. Joe, that's a fantastic idea. Good, really good thinking, Joe. You could also add the 5th if you wanted, this nice G. That's another one to do. Or you could add the 2 in here, this D. But I'm with Joe. I really like the sound of the fourth, adding this F note here. That's a really great idea, Joe. Really lovely thing to do. Fantastic. You guys are doing brilliantly. I love how you've taken all this stuff on. It's absolutely amazing. So for the chorus, you could either do your standard B flat. Now, tips for B flat, the most important thing is to keep that wrist straight. What we don't want is this bent wrist, because it feels slightly awkward and it can bring on carpal tunnel. It's a really uncomfortable thing to do. So really pull that arm back so that wrist is nice and straight. Notice that all of those fingers are at an angle, so they're not straight like this, they're reaching over. That allows you to cover these two notes here and then reach up and over like this. You get that nice arch. Try and have the thumb on the back with a bit of a gap there, so it's not kind of squished up like this. That will allow you to press those notes nice and easily. You can also do the barred B flat if you want, by barring the whole of the first fret, like so. If you're doing that, try and get this finger as close to the metal fret as possible, where there's the least amount of tension. There's another cool thing that you can do in this one. You know, I promised to make it slightly easier because that B flat's quite tricky. Another thing that I like to do is actually add this C note to the B flat here. It sounds really effective and beautiful. Just put your little finger, your pinky, on the 3rd fret of the A string. Now that's really cool because you can keep it down when you go to the F. And then you can keep it down, turns it into the C. I'll show you what I mean. September's not so far away. Okay, you can do it like that. I'm getting the key wrong, but September's not, there it is. September's not so far away. Okay, so you could do it that way, or traditional way. September's not so far away. Okay, we could do it like that as well. So either's absolutely fine. Now, one last thing for this one, if you want to try it, there's a really nice riff that I can teach you for this. Now, this is almost impossible to learn in one quick session. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of taking away and practice. This is more for anyone that's watching this back on repeat or wants to revisit this. Now, if you do enjoy this song, I've done a little play along version on YouTube and on my website where you can play along and practice it as well. So if you enjoy this, you can come back to it. But we have this really cool riff at the start. It sounds something like this. It creates a real nice kind of, like a really nice texture. If I really highlight the melody notes, this is what's happening. And that's the riff that plays on the original on electric guitar, quite loud through the whole thing. Now let me show you how to do it really slowly, but again you'll have to kind of revisit this to get this. Start by putting your first finger on the F note here. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Joe? Absolutely. First finger on this 1st fret of the E string here, like so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to reach over with your ring finger, your 3rd finger, to the 3rd fret of the E string. So you've got 2 fingers on the same string. Little finger comes down here on the 3rd fret of the A string. So that's the start of the riff. And then the whole of the rest of the riff is basically created by lifting these fingers on and off. So we start by lifting off the finger on the G note and then put it back down. And then to get the A coming through, we lift this one off, put it back down, lift this one off, okay, and then put it back down. So in slow motion, I go for that really slowly. Okay, so if we number these 3 and 4, the ones that I'm lifting are 3, back down, 4, back down, 3. And you can practice that slowly. and then you can start speeding up. And then the second time through it has one more A. Like I say, that's going to take a whole lot of practice. So don't sweat that, because all the time I'm playing that, I'll play it so you can hear it. You guys just keep that C going. Just strum that C. Okay, just keep that one going. And we're going to do that as a little kind of instrumental part after we do every chorus and after every verse. You'll hear it just round and round again and again, and we'll do it as an intro as well. Should we give it a go? We're not going to do any soloing on this one, but there is some soloing to come if you want it later on tonight. So there's enough going on with this one. So we're just going to do that riff if you want it, and then just strumming and singing and really enjoying it. Brilliant picture, by the way, Esther. Oh, I love that of the field mice. There's Bobby at the end. He was my favourite. He was the songwriter there. Okay, so we're going to go verse, chorus, and then we're going to do that riff for a little bit, and then we're going to do an instrumental chorus, and then just a final chorus. So think of it as verse, chorus, final chorus, if you like. You'll soon get the hang of it. It's really simple, this one, when you get into it. Follow me along, have loads of fun. I'll come in on close camera, I think. Actually, I think I'll stay on this one because then you can see me singing as well. So I think that'll work, won't it? Yeah, I'll do it like that. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of being with you, the sorrow of parting from you, see? More than 100 miles away, you live, though sure I'll love you always. Here's our ref. Seeing you again was heaven, now you're gone again, it's hell. It's our chorus. September's not so far away. And again. September's not so far away. Another verse. I will never again ask you if there is any chance. Here comes our F. I understand you wanted to be totally free. I hope every call is from you. I'm not convinced I should not love you. I am really missing you so, wanting to be kissing you so. Yeah, fantastic. Well done, well done. I really, really hope you enjoyed that. I have a real soft spot for the field mice, partly because if any of you know my own kind of indie pop music, this is the kind of music that I kind of grew up with and I really love. I lived in Bristol for some time. Sadly, I never overlapped with the Sarah Records people. Just as Sarah Records finished, I moved down there to university, but I love that history. And those old Sarah records, they were really cool. They wanted to release 100 7-inches, which is exactly what they did. And then they said, we're stopping dead. That's all we're ever going to do. And they stood by their word. And those 100 7-inches, they're worth a fortune now. So I've only got a couple of them. And I'm always tempted to stick them on eBay. But it's like, no, I'm going to keep them for posterity. So, yeah. Don't worry, Johnny, really tricky with that riff. You might have noticed that when I came out of the chorus, in the original, the riff actually happens in the chorus, like this a little bit. September's not so far. There. But I find it almost impossible to sing and play that riff at the same time, so you might have noticed that I sneakily left it off part of the chorus, so because it's quite a tricky thing to do. Of course, when you play in a band, it's fine because you get the lead guitarist to do that, and you don't have to worry about it. Karen got the riff. Well, you did better than me tonight. I'm impressed, Karen. That is absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. As I say, if you enjoyed that, check out their compilation. Where Do You Learn to Kiss This Way? It's really wonderful. There were also the Trembling Blue Stars was a brilliant band as well. Well worth checking out if you enjoyed that. Paul Mansell, my good friend and ukulele teacher, he's really into Trembling Blue Stars. I think even more than the Field Mice. But yeah, lovely bands. Okay, so next we're going to look at, oh my goodness, this is an absolutely wonderful, gorgeous, beautiful song. In fact, I think this might be my wife's favourite song of all time. It's from Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. And when you think of War of the Worlds, you think of crazy sci-fi, don't you? So the aliens coming from Mars and all that. Or maybe you think of the radio version where people thought we were actually being invaded by aliens. But the songwriting on War of the Worlds is absolutely beautiful. And there are several really standout songs. And this one is a really, really beautiful melancholic ballad. In fact, I don't want to get too morbid, although we are close to Halloween, right? This has been played at many people's funerals, and you'll kind of understand when you listen to I can't think of the words. My brain's gone. The metaphor, that's the word I was looking for, metaphor. When you kind of listen to the metaphors that happen in the lyrics, you'll understand why people choose to do that. But it's absolutely beautiful. What I didn't know, in Karen's fascinating facts, she mentions that this was originally written for a jingle for a Lego advert. What? So apparently Jeff Wayne wrote this as a jingle for a Lego advert when he was younger. And then when he came to do War of the Worlds and he put music to it, he had this old melody knocking about and he decided to recycle it into this tune. When he did, he got Justin Hayward from the Moody Blues, right? Wonderful, wonderful singer. Still is, actually. Jeff got him to sing this one and a couple of others. And it's absolutely beautiful with his lovely, silky, smooth vocals over the top. Which is really, really sweet. So this one's called Forever Autumn. Now this one's really, really interesting. We're in the key of A minor now. Now again, I don't want to go too much into theory because sometimes it bores people to death, but I like nerding out on it. Every major key in the whole wide world has a minor key, which we call the relative minor, which has all of the same notes and in fact all of the same chords, just starting from a different place. So the notes that make up C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, notice no sharps or flats, they're exactly the same notes as the key of A minor, only the key of A minor just starts from A rather than C. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then we go back to the start again, right? So it's exactly the same notes. And it's the same chords as well. So A minor, B diminished, don't worry about that one. C major. And if I start from that C, it's like we're just doing the C major chords. C major, that D minor, E minor, F major, G, and then we're back to A again at the start. So it's every major key has a minor equivalent. The reason I think that's interesting is that most of the chords, apart from the A minor, which is acting as the 1, act as they would in the key of C. So we start with A minor. We're in the key of A minor, a kind of dark or sad key, right? Or minor keys. So we start with A minor because we know, like I said in the first song, that one chord is all about setting us off on a journey. So we just start with that A minor. We're just going to do exactly the same strum pattern. I'm actually going to give you a picking pattern in a minute, but strumming wise, just do your down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up. Instantaneously, we've got that melancholy, right? That kind of really beautiful. The summer sun is fading as the year grows old. We've got that real melancholy. Now that G chord at the end, even though it's the 7 chord, it's acting like it would in the key of C. In the key of C, the G chord is the 5 chord, right? C, D, E, F, G. And that creates tension, and that's exactly what it's doing here. It's like the tension at the end of that line. Then we've got this lovely passage of quick chords, 2 beats each. F, C, D minor, another melancholy minor chord. C again, and then G. So notice we've got 2 different minor chords used here. Again, that's another hint we're in a minor key. If you have lots of minor chords, it tends to hint at that. All right. So let's go over that really slowly from the start of that verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor. And again, 2 Gs, 2 measures of G, I should say. Now 2 beats, F and C and D minor and C and G. That's the hardest bit, right? That's going to take some practice. 2 beats of F, the change chord. And then that G chord acting as the tension again. And remember my tip, I'm always saying this, whenever it says NC, it means no chord, but it's a bit of a lie. Whenever musicians write no chord, they mean 1 chord, because that final measure, you hit that G once. I'll play through a verse with the lyrics over the top so you can hear the timing. 1, 2, 3, 4. The summer sun is fading as the year grows old. Here's the hard bit. The darker days are drawing near. How beautiful though. Then that F chord. The winter winds will be much colder. And then we stop. Now you're not here. And we just resolve to that A minor and we play it 4. Now what you could do if you want to make it really fancy pants is when you hit that A minor, you could do a kind of a bit like it does on a record and add some extra notes. I like to add this 5th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret and off. I'll show you what I mean. I'll do that last line in a verse from the F. The winter winds will be much colder. Now you're not here. Notice how it just adds a little bit of texture. You could go the other way. The reason all those notes work is that they all belong in the A minor key. A, B, C and D, we're playing there, so they're all going to fit. If in doubt though, just strum an A minor 4 times. And at the end of every single verse, we're going to do that. So after we hit that NC, we're going to strum A minor 4 times. All right. Then chorus is really, really simple but beautiful again. Now this one, we go to the the F chord. Now that's acting like it would in the key of C again. Quite often in the key of C, when we go to a new section, remember we tend to get the F chord, don't we? Because it creates a sense of change. And that's exactly what's going on here. So we have 2 Fs, 2 Cs, then we've got that B flat chord again, that kind of indie sounding chord. You can either do it like this or like this. You could even copy what we did last time in reverse. We could do F, C, B flat, just keep that finger down, and then to A minor if you want to. I'm going to go traditional. F, C, B flat, and A minor. Now, if you're into your theory here, the reason that B flat is working is because it's kind of like it's between a C and an A minor chord. It's often called a backdoor chord. Any chord that's half a step away in terms of chromatically. Again, if this is too much theory, don't sweat it. I'll show you how to play it in a sec. But any chord that's half a step away from the chord that follows it, we call the backdoor chord. And you can do this in any key. Just put a chord that's half a step ahead. It works really beautiful. And B flat, if you think about it as a note, there's your B flat, there's an A. It's only half a step away. B flat, A chord. So we call that the backdoor chord. So 2 Fs, 2 Cs, 4 B flats, and then 2 whole measures of A minor. I'll do that for the chords, so the lyrics, so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. Then we do it again. Like a leaf on a breeze, you blew away. Then we get that 4 chord played as a B flat major 7. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Sorry, not the 4 chord, the 2 chord. It's so gorgeous. So rather than a full B flat like this, all we're going to do is we're going to lift off the finger that's on the A string, which gives you a lovely chord, the 2 chord, but it also has the A note coming through really well, which is the tonic, the note that the key is named after, the A. And that creates this lovely floating sounding chord, which we just stay on for a whole 4 measures. Let's give that a try. We're nearly there, folks, because the next bit is just a repeat of the first and second verse. But let's try a chorus so you can give it a go. All right, here we go. Stay on close camera for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a sun through the trees, you came to love me. Like a leaf on a breeze, you blew away. Then that B flat major 7. Hey, just stay on it for 4, 3, 4. Gorgeous, right? Really lovely. You got it. Fantastic. Beautiful chorus. Really, really gorgeous. Now, the verses 3 and 4, they're basically the same as the first verse, only we have this extra G and A minor at the end. If you have a look at the first 3 lines here, they're exactly the same as these 3 lines here of the first verse. We've just got this little kind of tag at the end, we call it, where it just has this G, A minor. I'll show you. Let's play verse 3 and you can see how it sounds. I'll come in on close camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through autumn's golden gown, we used to kick our way. You always loved this time of year. The fallen leaves lie undisturbed now, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here. Cool, right? And then the final one, the 4th chorus, you just keep going A minor G as much as you like. Just keep it going round and round. It's one of my favourite chords, Karen. I've put that in a couple of my own songs because I love the sound of B flat major 7. It has a wistfulness. Yeah, really lovely. That's it, basically. Now, if you want to do a little solo after verse 3, where we have an instrumental verse, if I flick this, you'll see. So we've got there verse, interlude just means A minor, verse 2, chorus, verse 3, and then we're going to do an instrumental verse you can do a little solo on if you want. A chorus again, and verse 4. Now for the instrumental verse, if you're just strumming, you're just going to strum the chords to these ones. All right, just going to strum those really simply with an A minor at the end. If you want to solo, you can use your A minor pentatonic scale, which is the same as your C major pentatonic scale. They both overlap. Remember, they're major and minor equivalents. So the cool thing about this one is that the A minor pentatonic, A, B, C, D, G, and back to A, is all your dots, right? Open A, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, and 12th fret. You can even go to this high C up here at the 15th. And you can also play all your dots and open strings on the E string, but remember, don't hit the 7th fret, go up to 8. That's the only difference on that string. Otherwise you can hit all your dots. And you can also play this open C here, and a 2nd fret, open E, 3rd fret, open A, 3rd fret. So you can play around down here, or if in doubt, use all those dots and it will sound really lovely. Remember, these scale reference sheets, you can download them anytime, and it's the same one for all Kanikapilas, so you can use this for all of them. I had a couple of questions coming in. Oh, thanks, Diamond. Thank you. That's really kind. You guys are awesome. You guys are what keeps me going and fills my heart with joy and keeps me doing this. So thank you. Really appreciate that. Joe's asking, could we use the pinky C trick when playing D minor? Do you know what, Joe? I think we probably could. Let me just check. Let's have a look. So that would be F, C, where am I? Yeah, F, C, D minor, C, G. Yeah, the only, I guess, if you're really panicky, because that D minor gets turned into a D minor 7, it misses that nice A at the bottom. I don't think it really matters too much. So yeah, if you find it comfortable, and if you really don't like the sound of that high C on the D minor, just concentrate your strum near the top 3 strings and that'd be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Let me give you an example solo just so you can hear it. And all I'm going to do is I'll just play a backing track. Hopefully I can get my little mini speaker to work. And I'm just going to mostly play the dots on my E and A string. Let's see. I recorded a backing track earlier. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Realise you can't see what I'm doing. And again, if I simplify that look, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time, what I'm going to do, I can turn it up on the iPad, is I'm just literally going to play the dots on my A string, just to show you that you can get a really cool sounding solo going, even just with those dots. So you don't really need to even make it super fancy. So yeah, so just have a play through those dots and really enjoy it. Oh, thanks, Hester. It's actually my little trick. I bought a tiny little speaker, so it just helps because it always sounded a bit weedy, didn't it, on my iPad? So I think that's probably as much as what it is. But thank you. Okay, one last thing. If you want to, you can do a nice picking pattern on this one, which sounds really sweet. This is how I'm going to do it. Let me get rid of this for a minute so you can see what's happening in my right hand. I'm going to put my thumb on the G string, index on C, middle finger on E, and ring finger on A. I've got a low G, but you can do this with high G as well if you want to. And I'm just going to play from top to bottom, thumb, index, middle, ring. I'm going to pause once on that A string and then come back again. Okay. There and then back again, and there and then back again, and there and then back again, and there. Isn't that sweet? Really simple. So you get this. Da, 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 da. Now, when you get to this next bit, which is just one half a measure for each, just do top to bottom once. F, C, D minor, C, and G. Isn't that lovely? You could even just do up and down, or just down top to bottom the whole time. G. That's still really lovely, right? Lovely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that finger picking for... Oh, thanks, Sarah. Thank you. I'm going to do that finger picking just for the first couple of verses. Then when I get to the chorus, I'm going to strum. Because it creates a sense of dynamism, right? It makes things nice and interesting. So, as I say, just picking for the first couple of verses, it will sound something like this. Let me get my words back so I can see what I'm doing. Where are they? Go. So that would look and sound something like this. The summer sun is fading as the year grows old, and darker days are drawing near, so on and so forth. When I get to the end of verse 2, I wish that I was flying with them. When I get to A minor, I'm going to start strumming. Now you're not here. That will take me into the first chorus. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. And that's something that I'm really passionate about, okay? Even if you can't quite get this tonight, some of you might be able to, which would be absolutely amazing. But even if you can't, just that idea that if you just break things up by playing some picking and then strumming and then back to picking, it just makes things so much more interesting, I think, rather than doing the same thing all the way through. Again, I'm not a big fan of just the same strum pattern all the time because I think it's nice to mix it up a bit. So let's do that. Okay, let's give it a bash. You've got your sheets here so you can follow it through in terms of the structure. Intro, verse, interlude. Remember, interlude just means A minor. Verse, chorus, verse. Then we're going to do that instrumental verse. You can do a solo if you want. And then a chorus and a verse at the end. So it's easiest if you've got these two sheets next to each other. I've tried putting them on screen at the same time together, but they're too small. So I'll just keep the chord box up for now. Okay, here we go then, guys. Let's give it a bash. I think you can see my fingers if I stay here. Here we go. If it looks like I'm staring off into the distance, by the way, it's just because I've got all the lyrics on my iPad over here. I'm trying to be good and not print things off, so that's what I'm looking at. Here we go. A minor to get us going. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. Come in when I start singing. Here we go. The summer sun is fading as the year grows old, and darker days are drawing near. The winter winds days will be much colder. Now you're not here. And we go again for another verse. I watch the birds fly south across the autumn sky, and one by one they disappear. I wish that I was flying with them. I'm going to strum now. Now you're not here. Here comes our chorus. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. Like a breeze on a breeze, you flew away. Here comes verse 3. Through autumn's golden gown we used to kick our way. You always loved this time of year. Those fallen leaves lie undisturbed now, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here, 'cause you're not here. Take a solo, or strum the verse with me. Ready for the next chorus? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like the sun through the trees, you came to love me. Like a leaf on the breeze, you blew away. Hey. Let's hit A minor. Finger pick this last verse. Here we go. A gentle rain falls softly on my weary eyes, as if to hide a lonely tear. My life will be forever autumn, 'cause you're not here, 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 'cause you're not here. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Absolutely brilliant. Now, my wife Sharon is learning ukulele at the moment. Every now and then she decides she's going to get into it, and then she's not that. She kind of doesn't go off it, but just doesn't practice that much and forgets about it. And then this summer she came along and helped me out massively. She is like my right hand man at the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain, and it really inspired her. So she's learning uke again at the moment. So she'll probably watch this later, and I'm going to get told off so bad for getting the words wrong on the first chorus. Sorry, Sharon, if you're watching this back. Sorry, everyone. I love this song as well. I was just getting so much into those chords that I forgot what I was singing. But I hope you really enjoyed that, guys. I think it's just an absolutely gorgeous song, isn't it? Hi, Andre. Good to have you along. Really, really beautiful. And do listen to the original. I can't do that justice. Justin Hayward's vocals on it, just sublime. I mean, his vocals always are, right? But they especially suit the melancholy of this one. I wasn't ever lucky enough to see War of the Worlds live, but Sharon got taken when she was a kid by her parents, my in-laws, and they got to actually see Justin sing this, and she said it was absolutely sublime, so I was very, very jealous. Okay, we'll take a quick break before we do two more songs. These next ones are going to be really beautifully about the moon. Both of these are about the moon, which is gorgeous. Oh, Rebecca. Oh, good. And thanks for joining us on your birthday, Esther. I do really, really appreciate that. It's really lovely for you to come along, and hopefully you're having lots of birthday fun, which is great. So, yeah, fantastic. Oh, thanks, Fran. That's what I love. I love introducing new songs, and it's great. We've got a couple of classics coming up, but isn't it nice when you get those esoteric ones as well that you might not have heard of? And it's great. A good way of introducing people to new music as well. Thinking of Rebecca's question here for those the finger picking that verse. I think it would be beautiful to keep practicing it and eventually get it just as I did in terms of the picking. Not saying I got it perfect. I mean, I like the pattern I was using. But what you could do is on that fast bit, just do a single down strum, and that still sound really effective and nice. I'll give you an example. So if I was doing a verse. Then I could be back to that. And if you want it to sound a bit more melancholy, just strum once with your thumb, make it a bit more melancholy like this. Just whilst you're learning it, but it does sound nice when you get those finger picking patterns in. Just sounds gorgeous, doesn't it? Which is really, really, really lovely. So, a couple of things to mention. Of course, again, I'll mention it again because I'm really excited about this one. You might have noticed. I'm a proper Beach Boys nerd. I love everything about the Beach Boys. I love their early stuff. I like the weirder, later stuff. I like all the Smile, Pet Sounds. My favourite album is probably Sunflower and Friends. I love that kind of late 60s period, which I really love. And we're doing probably my favourite pop song of all time, God Only Knows. Really fascinating song with, I think, about 12 key changes in, but it's not as scary as it looks. Plus some really simple but beautiful sounding extended chords. So things like a D minor 6, where we get this lovely, or an A6 up here. Some really, isn't that gorgeous sounding chords? It's only 2 fingers, but a really beautiful sounding chord. So we're going to look at some really unusual chord voicings, and we're going to have loads of fun with God Only Knows, one of the best songs, if not the best pop song ever written, I would say. If you're enjoying tonight, and I've made myself tiny. I wonder if I can get to it without. Oh no, I'm not going to risk it. There used to be a little mat down in this corner, but for some reason I've shrunk myself down to about that big. I can't get at myself because I'm behind the button that says finish, and if I press that, you'll all disappear, and I don't want that to happen. What I was going to say is, if anyone's feeling generous and they want to donate towards the running costs, I'll always keep Kanikapila for free. I always want to provide some free content wherever it is. So, but if you fancy helping towards the running costs, you can donate to mattsteadukulele.com. There's a page on there, or if you follow the PayPal link, paypal.me/the Ukroom, you can send it there as well. And thank you for those that did. I really totally appreciate that. It really helps keep me going. So thank you guys. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, nice. The cute older brothers next door like them. Well, of course they were all brothers, weren't they? The Wilson family. You had Dennis was the youngest, then Carl. No, Carl was the youngest, then Dennis, and then Brian. I think I've got that the right way around. But yeah, they were just such an absolutely amazing band. Yeah. True. What else was it I wanted to tell you guys about? We've had quite a few new members recently, so if you're you've just joined up and you're not sure what best to dip into, head to my website mattsteadukulele.com. If you click on the learn bit, that's where you'll find all the courses. So there's 9 different courses there: beginners, intermediate, next steps. There's a jazz and blues course. I'm going to be starting one on the Beatles recently. I'm going to be starting one on the Beatles soon, coming up in the next few weeks. I haven't had any new lessons for the last week or two because I'm working on kind of sprucing up the old courses. So if you've been taking any of the older courses, like beginners especially, you'll notice that I'm kind of upping the video content a little bit, working on little introductions and tags and things like that, and more pictures. So I'm going to spend another couple of weeks just doing that. So all of the content will be that little bit better for you all, because I always want it to just get better and better. That's my aim. And then we'll start the Beatles course, which is going to be really, really exciting. We're just going to have chord melody and all sorts on as well. Rebecca had a question about my ukulele, I think. Yeah, Rebecca was just asking what ukulele I'm playing today. So this is my Hive ukulele, and this was my first, if you like, proper custom-made ukulele that I had made for me. I fell in love with this body shape. I just think it's really kind of beautiful and kind of ergonomic and pretty. And it was made by a guy called Jake McClay, and he goes by the name Hive Ukulele. I wonder if I can show you on the inside. You might be able to see there it is. You can see the label in there. It's got his signature. And Jake made this one for me years ago, actually. I think I've had this for like 7 or 8 years. And he made it out of really pretty bird's eye maple. Have a look at that. He said it was the prettiest bird's eye maple he'd ever had. Really unusual wood. Now, normally maple's like a really bright wood, but the way Jake builds, he gets really nice warmth out of his ukes, and it gives it almost like a piano-like tone, which I love. So I'm totally in love with this uke. This is one of those ukes that will go to my grave. I don't think I could ever sell this. It'll be passed on to my kids when I pop my clogs. And it's got this nice flame maple neck. The only thing I would change about it, this is the only thing you can learn by my mistakes, right? Because it was one of my earliest customs. I had Jake make it with quite a narrow nut width because I've got really small fingers, but I actually prefer a slightly wider nut now. So if I was going to get Jake to make me another uke, I'd ask him to make it with a wider nut width. It's the same with my Bohannon behind me, which is another of my favourite ukes. I still love them, and they're still my favourites to play. Those are my Chuck Moore ones, but I'd like a little bit more width in here. But yeah, I love it. And even if you have a look on the binding on the inside, he's even laminated the binding strips. I always think when a uke looks glorious as much on the inside as the outside, you know that a builder really cares about his craft, right? So yeah, so this is my Hive. I absolutely love it to bits. Spruce top and maple back and sides. Okay. Right, what else did I want to tell you? I can't think now. Oh, hi, Will. Well, no, Autumn Leaves could be, I suppose we could have done it in the key of C, but it's got a couple of tricky chords in. And Kanikapila, I try as much as possible to keep it relatively simple. So I did think about it, but I've done loads of tutorials on that. You can find that on my website. But I didn't brave it for tonight, even though it would have fitted perfectly with the autumn theme. So that's all. Will's a great ukulele player. You're looking very spiffing in that in your avatar picture as well, with your nice waistcoat. Love that. Is that cherries on it? I'm trying to work it out. It's really cool. Will helps run the Old Riverport Ukulele Festival over in St Ives near Cambridge. I played there a couple of years ago and had a wonderful, wonderful time. It's if anyone's debating about whether to go, I'd really recommend it for sure. So yeah, how many of us are looking in our sound holes now? I know. Don't get me started on sniffing the sound hole. I'm a sound hole sniffer as well. This one still smells of wood shavings. I love that. I love the smell of new ukuleles. Esther just reminded me as well, just before we do start the third song. I'm nearly about to start it, don't worry. If you're interested in joining my Facebook group where we all hang out and share videos, a lot of people have gone to join the last couple of weeks, but they haven't answered all the questions. So just make sure you tick all the questions, especially the one that says, I agree to all the rules. We're not being really anal or anything. It's just that if you don't do that, you get lots of spammers on there and stuff. So it's to protect you guys. So if you're interested in joining our website, look up Learn Ukulele with Matt on Facebook. Used to be called the Uke Students Hangout, and you can join in, and we have regular monthly challenges. We all help each other out with questions and answers and posting videos. Just make sure to answer those questions as you join, and we'll get you joined up and having loads of fun. Yeah, Martins. I've got some Martin guitars, Joe, and they're Martin guitars. They just have such an amazing smell to them, don't they? I love it. I love it. I'm always sad whenever I play a vintage Martin, because although it's got that old smell, it doesn't have that beautiful new Martin factory smell that you get from those guitars, which is lovely. So, oh, it's musical notes on a waistcoat. Oh, even better, Will. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, let's do another autumn song now. So we're going to have a look at Harvest Moon. I know we're just about past harvest time. This is a gorgeous song written by Neil Young, and this was released on his 1992 album. A lot of people presume that this song was on his album from 1972, Harvest, but actually it was written for his 1992 album, Harvest Moon, which is also a really, really good album. And the reason that I love this, even though apparently it was written about one of his ex-girlfriends, which I was really disappointed to read, the video to it is really gorgeous because it's Neil Young dancing with his wife, and it's a really beautiful, heartwarming video. It's gorgeous, and I love the fact that Neil Young, he's been through all sorts of problems. He had polio when he was younger, same as my granddad, in actual fact. And epilepsy, and he's come through all those problems to release these, you know, it's just some of the nicest music ever recorded, isn't it? And I kind of love that. And the other thing that a lot of people don't realise about Neil Young, and this is in Karen's Fascinating Facts in the back if you're interested, they're all in the back here if you ever want to look it up. There's so much cool information. Karen really goes to town with these, and Esther's fun jokes at the back as well, which is well worth having a look at. Oh, there you go, Will. There's your autumn leaves. What happens when winter arrives? Autumn leaves. So I didn't realise this. I learnt this from Karen's Fascinating Facts that Neil Young, he actually learned on the first instrument he learned on was a ukulele, a plastic ukulele. Then he learned a bit of guitar. Then he went back to baritone ukulele for a while, and then guitar. So I love that, guitarists that play ukulele as well. It's really special, isn't it? Now this song's really interesting because if you have a look at the chords, they look quite intimidating, right? We've got a G6. You might not know what that is. We've got a D6, a D major 7, an A7 sus4. Don't panic. They're all really, really easy to do. And actually, the kind of chords combinations are really straightforward. Basically, all we've got happening in the verse is we have the 4 chord, which creates a sense of change, going to the 1 chord, which creates resolution. And that's it. We're in the key of D, so if you count up in the key of D, there's a couple of sharps in the key of D, but we don't have to worry about those. D, E, F sharp, there's one, G, A, and then we'd have B, C sharp, and back to D. So the 4 chord in the key of D, D, E, F, is G, right? So all we have at the start is the 4 chord going back to the 1 chord, a sense of tension and release, which is really, really simple and beautiful. Now the 1 chord is played as a G6. A G6 is just a G major chord, which would look like this, with the 6th note above G added. What's 6 above G? Let's count it. G, A, B, C, D, E. And to add an E to a G chord, all we need to do is get rid of this note, and we can add it. And we have all of the notes. We've got the G's up here. I've got low G, you can have high G. We've got the 3rd note of the chord, this B, the 5th note, this D, and then the 6th note, this E. And it creates this lovely floating sounding chord. Isn't that gorgeous? Exactly the same strum pattern. I haven't planned this, but exactly the same strum pattern as earlier, just that calypso, down, down, up, up, down, up, walk, running, and running. So we could do 4 measures of that. And then we get the resolution to D. Notice it feels settled when I hit that D chords. So the basic chords, G6, there's the 4 chord, creating some change, wanting a resolution, here it comes, this D. Like so, isn't that lovely? Now with the words, that will sound like this. I'm going to show you the riff in a minute, but with the words. Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Just that simple, right? Just like children sleeping, we could dream the night away. Really beautiful. Now, if you want, and this is absolutely fine, if you want to, you can just play that for the verses and it will sound really, really beautiful. If you want to put in that lovely little riff that Neil Young does, what you do is when you go to the D, you play it firstly like this. I'm going to show you 2 different ways of doing this in a minute. Then you can put in another finger for this B note, the 2nd fret of the A string. And then we go up to this note up here, which is a C sharp. Okay, and we do this, D, like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that gorgeous? Sorry, I got really sweaty Betty fingers at the moment. This is my new, I call this my ukulele cupboard. This used to be our walk-in wardrobe in our house. Now it's my ukulele cupboard. But unfortunately, I haven't worked out how to get any air conditioning in here or anything. So by this time of night, I'm getting a little bit warm. So just in case you wonder what all the marks are on my uke, I'm getting a bit sweaty Betty. Anyway, sorry, too much information, right? So when you put that together with the G6, it'll sound like this. Come a little bit closer, hear what I have to say. Isn't that lovely? Just like children sleeping, we could dream the night away. Okay. Now another way to do that, if you find that tricky, is when you do this first D, do a bar across the first 4 fret, all 4 strings. Come on, Matt, put your dentures in. And then just lift up just enough this way so that this open A is showing. Like that. Then you flatten down and then you can put your finger down here. So you get this lifting and down. Okay? Or you can do your 4-finger. Whichever you find most comfortable. Or again, you can just hit a D and we can do the riff for you. All right, so you've got a couple of options there, but it sounds really, really pretty, doesn't it? Really lovely. Now, the chorus is even more simple. It's just different types of the 5 chord. Remember, we're in the key of D, so let's count up. D, E, F sharp, but don't worry about that. G, A, okay? So the 5 chord is an A chord. And we just do different versions of an A chord. The first one is an A7, which looks like that, right? That's your A7, isn't it? But then it's an A7 sus4. So it just means we add the 4th note of the A major scale. And when we do a sus chord, we move the 3rd note up to the 4th. So this would be the 3rd note. This note here, it's a C sharp, C, C sharp. And we swap that out for a D. So that turns an A7 into an A7 sus4. It's that simple. You just add that one finger up there. So when we do the start of this chorus, I actually like to put 2 fingers down like this. Because the next chord's an A7, you just let this one go. Okay, so we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit that first chord again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Then we've got an A major at the end. Just lift that finger up. And then after that, you can either hit a D chord or you can do the riff again. So let me do a chorus so you can get an idea how that sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Or I could do it this way. Isn't that pretty? Really simple but really beautiful. That's it. That's all there is to this song. It just goes verse, chorus, like that. After the second chorus, we're going to do a little interlude solo where we're just going to play the verse again. And if you want to solo on this one, we're going to use the D major pentatonic scale. Okay, so this is, again, this is all in your scale reference sheets. Let me come in here. Let me see if I can find it. Now, this doesn't work when I've got this on screen here, but on if you've downloaded this as a PDF at home, you can actually follow the hyperlinks to some of these places, okay? But I'm just going to look it up in the index the old-fashioned way. D major pentatonic is, there we go, third one. So can you see a really simple set of dots here? The reason it's not paired up with its relative minor is that it's kind of awkward to play because the relative minor is normally behind the major. Or we have to go really high, or we have to use our low G. So let's keep it really, really simple and just use the D major pentatonic, okay? So that's going to be 2nd fret of the C string like so. 3rd fret up here, okay, for this E note. 2nd fret for F sharp. Then we go right up here to this A note, that's the 5th fret. B note down here, 2nd fret, and then back to a D. Okay, so we've got D, E, F sharp, A, B, D. Or from the C string, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 5. It's that classic pentatonic shape, and My Girl, right? If you've got low G, in fact, you could do this on high G as well, but it works really well on low G. You can also add these 2 notes up here, 2 and 4 on the G string. Like that. So you can have a little play around with that if you want to. Let me see if I can find a backing track for this one. Where are we? So, I think I recorded one. You miss your cue, Indrani. Doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. Indrani, she's normally the first to say, it's My Girl. Okay, so just have a little simple noodle. There's a C sharp there, isn't there, in that riff? But I can do that again. I'm so sorry. Every now and then my brain just goes in Kanikapila and I hit all the wrong things. I'm going to do that again. Thanks, Andre. Even when I go wrong. Have a little noodle around with that. We don't often play in the key of D, and that's going to be my excuse for getting that horribly wrong. But But we don't often play in the key of D, do we? So doesn't come up often, but really, really pretty. If you want to do a little bit of a solo for that one, that'll be absolutely, absolutely great. Let's bring the sheets back then, and we shall have a go for this one. There we go. Just make that a bit smaller again. Pop it over there. Cool. All right. I think that's everything you need to know for this. Just calypso strum this one, just that walk, running and running as we go. I'm so sorry, I don't know why, for some reason, my when I'm getting the comments coming up, they're making a noise. They never used to do that. I wonder if I can switch that off somehow. Wonder how I never used to do that. Give me just a second. Is it a sound effect thing? Options. Sorry guys, won't be a sec. I'm just going to see if I can stop it making a noise because it's going over the camera, isn't it? Can you hear that boop boop when it happens at home? Oh, and another one there. What is that? If anyone knows why my computer's making random noises, let me know. Sound effects, is that it? Am I hitting those by accident? How weird. Oh well, I'll try and figure it out later. If you hear any random noises, I have no idea what's going on, but that's fine. Okay, right, let's give it a go then from the top. Okay, so remember G6 and then our little riff. Really enjoy this one. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. Let me get my Harvest Moon ready up on here. There we go. Fantastic. Here we go. So, should we do the riff to get us going? I think that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Let's do that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a couple of these. 2 more. Here we go. Come a little bit closer. Hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we could dream the night away. But there's a full moon rising. Let's go dancing in the light. We know where music's playing. Let's go out and fill the night. Here comes our chorus. Because I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you. On this harvest moon. Do one more. Verse. And when we were strangers, I watched you from afar. When we were lovers, I loved you with all my heart. But now it's getting late, and the moon is climbing high. I want to celebrate, see it shining in your eye. Because I'm still in love with you. I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you. Kanikapila if you like. Or just strum with me. And again. Final chorus. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna see you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. Yeah, well done everyone. Isn't that a gorgeous song? Wow, he was some songwriter, wasn't he, Neil Young, back in the day? So absolutely. Neil Steadhill, Matt Young. That's brilliant. Love it, Andre. Love it. I did do that one a while ago. Karen's just saying, somebody, I think Andre was asking whether I did Wake Me Up When September Ends. We did that, I think, last autumn. I think we did an autumn themed one last September. And we have done that one. So if you're interested in any of the previous Kanikapilas, just visit mattsteadukulele.com. When you're at the top, there's you've got all the different menu items. If you click on live lessons, that has when the next Kanikapila is happening. It also has an archive, and it's like hundreds of them. We've been doing this for so long now, literally hundreds of these that you could go and check out. And if you go on the Facebook group in our files section, Karen's done a really brilliant master list of all the Kanikapilas with the different songs. It's really cool because you can even follow the hyperlinks to the song sheets. It's really neat. So well worth checking out. That's on the Facebook group, and then files, you'll find the master list. Or if you go to mattsteadukulele.com, live lessons, Kanikapila archive, they're all there. And as I say, I think Andre, I think it was last September we did that, which was really cool. I love that song, a bit of Green Day. I grew up with Green Day, so I love it. Not literally, not in their house, that'd be strange, wouldn't it? Wow, 404 songs at last count. That's amazing. Whoa, we've been going some, haven't we? Absolutely love it. Brilliant. Okay, so one last song for tonight, and we're going to do an absolute classic. Now, we've gone from autumn theme to a moon theme completely by accident, because every week Karen sets a People's Choice questionnaire sounds a bit wrong, poll. She does a Facebook poll on our Facebook group, and you get to decide what we're going to play for the People's Choice. And of the 4 songs this time, you chose Blue Moon, which works perfectly with our Harvest Moon. So really, really nice, right? Oh, I'll see if I can find that lovely photo I took of the moon to show you guys later. I was really lucky, and I had some lovely shots of the moon coming out of my old unit. I've still got that unit, but I'm not teaching there at the moment. Oh, here it is. And I was really fluky because at one point an aeroplane flew past the moon, and it looks like it's taken a little chunk out. Let me just show you. I'll only digress for a second. Have a look at this. This is my moon shot. There we go. I think it's coming up. There we go. So see that aeroplane down in the bottom left corner? It's a complete fluke. I had my camera taking a photo, and it just zoomed as I was zooming in. It just went past, and it took this chunk out of the moon. How cool is that? Maybe I should make that my next record cover. It's the right shape and everything, isn't it? There we go. Sorry, just thought I'd show you that for fun. So one last moon song tonight, and apparently Neil Young was obsessed with the moon, and it has a lot of connotations, doesn't it, in native North American culture, which is interesting. Okay, so let's get on with this because everyone's getting really hungry. I think that's a bit of a hint. I know. I don't know why I've been chatting for England tonight, and I think I've been chatting away, and we've gone on a bit longer tonight. But that's all right. We're all friends. We're enjoying it, right? One last song then. I'll go through this quickly, seeing as everyone's hungry and ready to go. This one's one of the most common and simple chord progressions of all time. We're in the key of C. It's a 1-6-4-5. One chord setting us off on a journey, C. 6 chord, a touch of melancholy. 4 chord, that sense of change that creates movement. 5 chord being played as a 7th, that's a G7, making you want to go back to 1. As soon as I play those chords, they should feel really familiar, even if not from Blue Moon. They've been used on so many pop songs, right? Even I'd like to be under the sea, in an octopus's garden, in the shade. Did you know that? Did you know that Blue Moon had exactly the same chord progression as Octopus's Garden? I should say it the other way around, because Blue Moon's a lot more classic and Octopus's Garden came next. So many songs share that chord progression. C, A minor, F and G7. Now a couple of hints for that one. As you're changing, try using your second finger for the A minor, which allows your first finger to come down for F, and then you can pivot on that to G7. 2 beats of each, and we're just going to strum a simple up and down swing strum. That just means down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It'll sound like this. Okay, just again, round and around. Blue moon, I saw you. Haven't got the lyrics up, but you get the idea. And we just go round with that. We go round with that 7 times. 7 times altogether, that chord combination. And then, after we've done it 7 times, which is like a verse and 3 quarters, because we're going to the chorus, we do this next passage. C, F, C, C7. That C7, whenever you play a C chord as a dominant 7, it makes you want to move somewhere, right? Makes you want to go to the chorus. Now the chorus is a really simple 2-5-1 progression with a couple of extra chords added in. So the 2 chord in the key of C is D minor, 5 chord G7, 1 chord C. Each of those chords voice leads beautifully into the next. A 2 chord always wants to go to a 5 chord, and a 5 chord always wants to go to the 1 chord. Touch of melancholy, and then it happens again. Okay, that's the first line. Now that's that classic. Let me just bring up the lyrics there. There we go. That's that classic. Suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms will hold. Some beautiful jazz chords, but simple ones on the next line. C6, no things at all. B minor 7, just bar the 2nd fret. E minor. And then this C. Another form of 2-5-1, D7. G. Flip it to the G7. I play that really slowly. C6, B minor 7, E minor, C, D7, and G. If you can't manage it, just stay on G there, but flipping it to the G7 makes it want to go somewhere. Notice how that G kind of feels rested. But as soon as you add that G7 in, it's like it's asking a question. That's what dominant 7th chords do. They make you want to go somewhere. And a G7 makes you want to go to a C, because it's 5 above it. Remember, a 5 always wants to resolve to a 1. It's a classic. So really, really not too bad. The chorus chords are a little bit tricky on this, but I think you'll get it. Just remember, verse is the same chord combination again and again 7 times, and then we do the bottom line. All right, so top line 7 times, then the bottom line, and then the choruses. If you want to solo for this, it's your A minor pentatonic again. That's all the dots on the A string. All the dots on your E string, but avoid the 7th, go straight to A. And you can also do off 2 on the C string, C, D, off 3, E, G, off 3, A, C. See if you can find these little rectangles like 3, 5, 3, 5, off 3, off 3. That'll allow you to solo really simply and easily. I think I've got a backing track for this one. Let me just have a look. I'll switch this on. I think I've been gabbing on so long that my little speaker has switched itself off. That's how long we've been going. Sorry guys, I didn't realise I was talking so much tonight. I'll just give you a little example of a solo. I won't do too much. Here we go. Oh, that was too little. Have a little bit of fun on that. Just see what you can come up with, and we're going to do that. I think let's put that in. Yeah, after the 3rd verse. I'll show you what I mean. So if I come on here again, okay. So we're going to go verse, verse, chorus, verse. Then we'll do an instrumental verse and then chorus. So it's basically 2 verses, chorus, 2 verses, but one of them instrumental, chorus, 2 verses. Verse, verse, chorus, verse, verse, chorus, verse, verse. Yeah, we got this. Let's have fun. Let's have a load of fun. I'm sorry I explained that way too quickly, but I just realised what the time is and people are desperate to go and have their dinner. So we'll finish off with this one. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your company tonight again and your friendship and your support. It means the world to me. I've had loads and loads of fun. Love these Kanikapila Mondays. I'm going to do them until I die. I'm just going to keep going with them forever because I love them so much. So if you enjoy it, come back every Monday and join in. That sounded really morbid. I'm not planning on dying anytime soon, just so you know. Okay, so let's go from the top. Blue Moon. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next Monday. I'll hang around for a few minutes after the end anyway, just in case there's any questions. Here we go. Let's just do that chord combination C, A minor, F, G7 a few times to get us going. 2, 3, 4. Enough one of those, then we'll start. Here we go. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you heard me sing a prayer for someone that I could really care for, someone that I could really care for. Whoops, here's our chorus. Then suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me, and when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Take a solo, guys. Bottom line and then a chorus. Next chorus. Then suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Yeah, well done everyone. Oh man, I made a bit of a mistake I think on one of those choruses, but who cares? It's the last song and we're having loads of fun, right? So I rather rush that one a little bit, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you're able to play a little fun song at the end to finish off. Andre's having a dance. Thanks, Andre. Karen saying, what was it? Somebody mentioned 404 songs. Yeah, page not found. Map not found or internet not found. Hopefully we don't get that. Okay, we should do for 409. We could do that Beatles song, couldn't we? 409. That would be quite good. So yeah, fantastic. Will's just saying, version I've been using takes a doo-wop progression and moves it up. Yeah, there's so many progressions. There's so many versions of this, Will. So mine's kind of from the original Heart version, but there's doo-wops, isn't it? The Ink Spots do a slightly different chord progression. There's been loads of different versions of this over the years. I think it's probably one of the most covered songs, isn't it, of all time? Which is not surprising because it's got such a great strong melody, hasn't it? Which is fantastic. Oh yeah, if you get a chance before you go, if you could just do a thumbs up on the video, not on the comments, but actually on the video, that would help YouTube pick me up with the algorithm. And as I always say, best way to support me, you can either visit Matstead Ukulele and join up as a member, £8 or £10 a month, and you get video submissions, all 9 courses, literally hundreds of hours of teaching on there. You get access to the worksheets for free. In fact, there's over 130 arrangements now that you can go and download instantaneously when you become a member. And don't forget, it's all on the app as well. So if you've got a smartphone of any kind, oh, there's my small copper. I'm a bit obsessed with my butterfly hunting. I've got a cool little app that you can get up on your iPhone, and all of the courses are there. So you can actually just grab one of the courses, for instance, baritone course, and you can access the videos. It's brilliant. So you can, let's just bring one up there just to show you. So it brings up the lesson, and you can even start playing the video, and you can watch all the lessons on your phone, which is kind of cool. There's the baritone ukulele one. I think it's just about to start. Tuning and holding your baritone. There I am. Gosh, I need to have my hair cut. Look at that, it's a lot shorter. So all of that's 9 different courses on there: beginners, intermediate, advanced. There's also a jazz and blues course. There's baritone. There's ukulele theory. All that sort of stuff. So go and check it out. If you're not able to support me financially and you want to help out, word of mouth is the best thing in the world. And I'm going to give Jo a shout out. Jo, I think you're still there, aren't you? So Jo gave a shout out to her ukulele group about me. And I've had loads and loads of inquiries. So thank you, Jo. That's massive, massive help and really, really appreciated. So word of mouth is a massive thing for us teachers. So thank you. Thank you. Karen's asking, what software do I use to record my videos? So it depends which ones, Karen. So things like this, I use a web streaming application called Ecamm. And that allows me to bring all the comments on and switch cameras, do all this malarkey to the different cameras and things like that. This is called Ecamm, and this is actually on my Mac. You can download it for PC as well. So that's what I use a lot of the time. And quite often I just use this to record things as well. I've got a little blue mic, which it's quite handy. I think I can probably show you on this. Let me see if I can point this. You're going to see my messy desk, but I've got a little, there we go, a little blue mic. There's my dad mug. So that picks up the audio. And then obviously for the video, I've got a couple of nice webcams. But for my actual videos, for my courses, I actually use a full Canon. It's not an SLR, it's a bridge camera. In fact, I've got it down here. Sorry, excuse me. I use it for my wildlife photography as well. I love this camera. It's called Coolpix. It's not as expensive as some SLRs as well, but still relatively dear. But look at the zoom on this thing. Obviously, I wouldn't use this for this zoom of when I'm recording, but it's epic. Let me. For some reason it's. But when I'm doing wildlife photography, it will really zoom in big time. Oh, I haven't got a card in there. It's not got memory card in, so it's not letting me zoom. But yeah, this is what I use to record all my videos with. And it has a special external microphone that sits on the top. And that's really important because these cameras, they're great, but the microphones on them tend to be really rubbish. So then you have to connect a little tiny microphone and put it on the top. It's not too difficult. I think I've got that up there as well. This is what the mic looks like, a little Rode mic, and that just clips into the camera on the top, and I use that to record all my stuff with. So yeah, if you ever want to do some recording, I think using a good bridge camera or an SLR is the way to go, or just get yourself a good webcam. I kind of wish I'd had all that technology when I started. If you have a look at my early videos, they're not as crisp and clear as my recent ones. And again, let that be a lesson. It would be really, if I was going to do it all over again, I'd re-record those earlier videos to try and get them even crisper. But you know, you have to work with what you've got, don't you? So there we go. Thanks, Audrey. Thanks, guys. Split screen. Yeah, we could do that live on Ecamm. But a cappella is probably the easiest way if we're just going to do some recording together. That'd be the way to do it. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Fantastic. Oh, one last thing before we go. If anyone's interested in the cruise, it's starting to sell out now, the actual boat. So if you're thinking about coming on a cruise, Caribbean cruise, in March. I just booked my flights to Florida yesterday, so I'm super excited. And it's probably going to be the only time I'll get to America in 2025. I was hoping to do something in Denver, but I think that might have to be the year after. Come along, it's going to be great. We're going to have 10 days in the Caribbean islands, Aruba, Bonaire and Curacao. I've already booked a couple of excursions. I'm going to go on a tour of the Everglades as well with the kids, see if we can spot some alligators. I'm going to teach you on all the sea days, and we're going to have live Kanikapilas and all that stuff. So all the flyer and everything you'll find on my mail outs and on my Facebook page. Well worth coming along if you can, guys. Right, I'm gabbing on a little bit, I think, and my belly is starting to rumble, so I'm going to love you and leave you, everyone. I hope you've had a really wonderful evening. I've had a fantastic time again. I always do at these things. And I'll see you again this time next Monday for an ABBA-tastic Kanikapila. Yeah, Charlene, it's going to be amazing. Cannot wait. Yeah. Lisa's coming as well, aren't you? Yay! Ah, brilliant. There's going to be so many of you guys. It's going to be wonderful. Totally magical. Magic ukulele mayhem on the southern seas. What's not to like, eh? Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next Monday. Much love.